experiences in your professional life, Brother Ethan, and I know you mentored some groups and did some pre-college training.
Okay. Yes. In my professional life, with what I've done, I created a curriculum called Shift. Shift is an acronym. It's about economic empowerment, and the acronym for Shift is Save Your Money. That's the S. We talk about supply and demand, what that means. Why can Michael Jordan charge so much for his shoes? Because the demand is so high. So we talk about those things. Help your family. That's about community revitalization, about building communities. How can we take back our neighborhoods? Imagine your goals is the I. And that's about setting a 5-year plan for your life. Every student that comes to the program, they create a 5-year plan for their life. The F is follow directions, and it's about humility. We have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so it's about, when we look at careers like engineering and architecture and how they have to pay attention to details and how they follow directions. And the T is think accurately. It's about having your own idea of success. It's about having your own idea of who you are. It's about taking charge and leadership of your life. So that shift is something that I contract out to organizations, and I teach it myself. It's a lecture series, very interactive, where it can be catered to high school students, to church groups, to professionals. And so that's one thing. And I moved out here to Austin to do real estate. You mentioned my professional life, so I am an agent with the Best Agents in Texas. That's an organization out in North Austin where my broker is a lady named J. Renee Ward. She's been a godsend. You know, when you get out on this path to your journey, God will always send you His best soldiers to help you along the way if you're helping yourself. And that's what Miss Ward has been. So those are 2 of the things that right now that's been going on professionally that I have that are available, along with the book. And I wasn't able to get more copies. It's self-published. I just print the book on demand. I wasn't able to get more copies before I got here, but I do have one that I would like to give to who wants it. Who wants this book? You do? Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Yes, ma'am. So those are the things that I have. I have a couple of little postcards I made. This is something I made myself, which has more information about the book, where you can get it, my website, as well as some other services that I provide, including tutoring and helping with writing as a writing coach. So that's on here, and I'll pass those around. Outside of that, I'm just very grateful that all the proper resources and the right people are coming into my life right now. Any other questions about college or anything else?
Well, excuse me. You said the 10-second miracle. Can you, I don't know, elaborate the word? Can you elaborate for me?
Okay. Well, the Bible tells us that as a man thinketh, so he is. So the 10-second miracle is simply, it's just really about, it's a process. It's a process of understanding who you are. It's a process of looking at what you've been through. It's a process of taking an inventory of your life. It's a process of building character. Just over a period of time, you walk into your true destiny, your true purpose, your true calling. And as believers of the faith of Jesus Christ, we know that the Bible tells us to live a life worthy of our calling. So that which you've been called to do, you live a life worthy of that. So all that is embedded within this 10-second miracle, where we decide what it is we want out of life. And the best thing about it is that, you know, it's available to anybody who will take the challenge and step up to it. Because if I can tell you a little bit more about myself and go in depth, you know, when I moved to Austin in January after graduate school, I didn't have anything. I just had my faith. I just had my faith. So I was sleeping on my aunt's couch. She's back there. This is a true story. So it's just about a character development process, and that's what the 10-second miracle is. It's about really, and it's not easy. You know, as I've gone along, I realized why so many people live in poverty and remain in poverty, because it's easy, but it's hard to do the work that needs to be done. The work is plentiful, but the workers are few. So those of us who work, we understand the laws of sowing and reaping. I think this the 3rd law of thermodynamics tells us that for every action, there's an equal and an opposite reaction. We could take a grain, a seed of corn, and then we could take a seed of poison, and we could plant it in this ground right here. And if we watered that poison and that corn over a period of time, they would both grow. Because this ground doesn't know that that's poison, nor does it know that that's corn. It's just doing what it does. That's similar to how our minds work. Whatever we plant in our minds, if we believe that we are healthy, if we believe we are prosperous, if we believe these things, we plant those seeds and we let those thoughts dominate, that's what will grow out of us, and that's who we will be. So that's my theory on the 10-second miracle. Yes, ma'am.
You mentioned some of the things that occurred when you were 20. What was the turning point then for you?
My son being born. Mm-hmm. Yeah, once my son was born, I just went on a relentless pursuit to figure out how I would be able to break that cycle. And that's the toughest part because, at Texas A&M, when I was there, so many of those students are second-generation Aggies, third-generation, fourth-generation Aggies. And they would say, I'm doing this because my father did. But I was that father that was doing it so that my son would be able to say that I'm doing this because my father did it. And I get a little, man, that thing is tough. So that was the turning point. Yes, ma'am. So you don't have to have a kid. And I don't recommend it unless you're married. But if it happens to you, it's not the end of the world. You don't have to work harder. And sometimes that's God's way of setting you down. It's His way of humbling you. That's His way of getting your attention. And it's up to you to listen because the belly of the whale is no place that you want to be. Okay.
Also, along with your career line, the way that you speak, Christ and everything, is there something more that you want to tell us?
Okay. Thank you for that lead-in. On July 8th, 2012, I did receive my ministerial license, and the work that I do is as an evangelist. I'm in the world with the people, so yes, I'm licensed as a minister, and I choose to allow my life to show that is the truth. So that's thank you. And I get up and I speak, and I want you to know that. For especially people that might say, well, he probably had this, and well, he probably had that, he probably has this, and he probably have that. That's not true. That's not true. I'm no different than anybody else. It's just the way I project myself because that's what I believe about myself. And whatever you believe about yourself, project yourself in that way. Don't allow someone else to tell you who you are. People love to put you in a box. That's one reason why I don't always come out and say, well, I'm a minister, because people look for boxes to place you in, and my mother would tell you there is no box for me, because I try my best to not be in a box, even if it means I have to take steps back to then take a step forward. So don't allow people to put you in a box. So